Hello! Just cat ears today. They look a bit odd. Maybe that's better. I don't know. Hi, how is everyone? Okay, we are on. Gosh, let me switch the chat. Live chat. We are on part 25. Oh my gosh, I think I forgot. 24. Of our journey through Healing Wise by Susun Weed. We are getting, well, we're getting close to finishing. And we are reading about the scientific tradition, which is our last healing tradition. I just remembered something. That I was supposed to tell someone else. Okay, I will tell them in a minute after this. So we are on. Gosh. So page 66. Scientific traditional healers, machines, and gods. So that's a pretty interesting part. I'm just gonna jump right in with the reading. And if you have the book, follow along. And then we're also still talking about nettles, but I want to try to finish nettles today and jump into another plant. And I'm still always taking suggestions for our next book. The books in this book club are herbal books that sort of talk about ways of thinking about health. So we're not specifically just talking about plants and here. So we are talking about plants, but also talking about theories and ideas that surround herbal medicine and how we look at our health. Okay. The expert, the healer, following the scientific way, is a godlike mechanic of the human body, at least in part by virtue of lengthy and rigorous training and access to costly and restricted substances and machines. I don't know what that word is, but we'll go with that. Yeah, it's substances, substances. So I'll have to look that up later. Mechanical, diagnostic, and healthcare procedures are required by the scientific tradition. So the healer must be a skilled mechanic. The reason for the cat ears is October, so Halloween. Last time I had the wings on, but this time I'm going just cat ears. Mechanical, diagnostic, and healthcare procedures are required by the scientific tradition, so the healer must be a skilled mechanic. Drug surgery, machine-enhanced tests, and image techniques such as X-rays, sonograms, and CAT scans require mechanical skill. In the scientific tradition of healing, remedies are chosen based on their repeatability and their ability to restore normalcy, because they are life-enhancing. Most people feel awe, a mysterious fear, in the presence of these godlike machines and the master mechanics who run them and understand how to decipher their messages. The training of the scientific tradition healer/mechanic includes a sizable amount of time on mechanics of people, especially sick and injured people. It gives little time to the study of healthy, whole people. Cases, diseases, the minute minutia of the physical body are memorized and treated, but the healer, godlike, no longer notices the populace. Once one doctor trained in the scientific tradition commented, "How am I supposed to create or even recognize health? I didn't see it once in the 6 years I was in medical school." So that is interesting, because when you're a doctor, you see sick people. But, you know, if you never see health, you also need to study health, like what it looks like in a person, what health looks like in a person, so that you can help your sick people get healthy. But a little is placed on that in our culture, because a lot of our doctors follow this this tradition to one form or another. She distills everything down to their essence, so when you see it out in the world, you're not going to see it quite so severely like she's saying here. The healer/mechanic is dependent on the accuracy of the machines as the patient/machine. They both put their trust in the new gods, machines. The patient identifies the healer with the machines and comes to see him as a god as well. The scientific tradition healer understands that all this is confusing. He is sometimes confused too. Thank goodness for the machines. They are never confused. She's a little cheeky about this as well. So by her language, it seems like she definitely does not like the scientific tradition, and possibly doesn't doesn't see much value in this outlook. It seems like she may think it's hurtful. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this idea of machines and us as machines, and looking at the human body as a machine, and therefore using machines as a diagnosis tool for health? Do you think that it's 100% negative, or do you think there's some value? What do you guys think about this idea of machines? As a patient in the scientific tradition, I put off going to the doctor/God because I'm afraid of what will be discovered. I ignore my little aches and pains. I put off going to the healer/mechanic because I don't have the money. I put off going to the healer/doctor because I don't want to take the drugs and I'm afraid of surgery. Now, I've had these similar. Hi, Heather. Good morning. How are you? Oh my gosh, I love all your plushies. They're not really plushies. I love them. I love that. You know, the taking the old sweaters and layering them and making new stuff with them. So you're doing good. I'm doing good. I'm tired as usual, but I'm doing good. I'm probably gonna keep this to an hour today because I got to go do some. I gotta straighten out some plantain oils, and it'll be all messy and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna get my tea. I'm gonna go get my tea. I will be right back, guys. Oh yeah, it was fun sewing this stuff. They're amazing. I hope you are. I hope you are getting some good money for them, because they are worth money. Definitely. Oh, that's my underwear, guys. Okay. I think my blood sugar is already. Oops. Yeah, they're purple. And well, my pajama bottoms are big. So I was thinking you would be later on the evening. No, that's next week. Next week we will be at night. Next week it'll be at 10 p.m. So yes, I'm sorry for the confusion. So next week will be 10 p.m. and I have no idea what's going to be the week after until they put up the schedule. So I got my Tulsi and my turmeric tea, and I know why people drink during their lives, because your throat just gets really dry and stuff like that. And then I have my water here, and I just bought some potato chips, even though like I probably shouldn't eat during the lives, but I really feel like my blood sugar is starting to crash out early. I get mixed up. That's okay, Heather. That's all right. That's why I put up the postings on the Facebook group, and I'm playing around with Instagram stories, which I really love. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my actual Instagram posts. So I'm not sure about the style. Anyway, I digress. So, but I'll just announce when we're gonna have the book club again at the end, so that everyone gets know. So we're on page 67 now. We're reading about scientific tradition, healers, machines, and gods, and everything. Let's see. As a patient in a scientific tradition, I desensitize myself because being a foreigner in my own body, becoming more like a machine. I don't notice the signals that indicate something is wrong with me until it is very wrong. I know I'm most likely to be abused by modern machine when I wait until the situation is critical. And I resist going to see the machine/God. I've been told that the healer/mechanic/God can fix anything, but what if they can't fix me? Yeah. So I think there's a large portion of us have experienced going to the doctor and them not being able to know what's wrong with you. And it's pretty tough. I definitely had that experience. Or they said nothing was wrong with me, but I was still sick. So that was really scary. It felt like I came to the end of a road, and I had to find a new road. And then that's sort of where like the alternative medicine section comes in, and that sort of can help with that road. To find a new road, but it was difficult. Susan, oh, I knew I should have brought it out. So I'll be right back. So this book, well, I've blabbed about it a bunch already, but it's not coming out until November now. This is a really great book for navigating the healthcare system and helping people like me, or like many people out there who have gone to the doctor and or have something seriously wrong with them, and they're like, I can't help. I don't know what's going on. And help you navigate all of your healthcare choices or roads that you can go down, because the system is confusing, and Heather says it can be hard not giving up and saying the heck with it. It can. However, if you're like sort of like, okay, it's life or death, then you have to. Well, I wouldn't have died, but I would have ended up in the hospital in kind of a situation that I didn't want to be into. So, you kind of have to go on. But anyway, I hope this is connected with what we're talking about. But I think that's a fear when you go into the doctor that, like, they won't find out what's going on. And it's confusing because the doctors don't talk about the other medicines. And everything really needs to be working together, but it's not. So this is the complementary integrated medical revolution. So you can, like, all your options. And it also talks about surgery. It talks about, it talks about everything from, like, story medicine, color theory, acupuncture, all the way up until surgery. And it's got references and all kinds of that stuff. So on the tangent of that, there is something, if you're in this situation that you're really sick and you've gone to the doctor and they can't find out what's wrong with you, or you could try. This book has a lot of things that you could try. Things you can do on your own, like going to the sauna, even stuff like that can help you put you on a road to health. Anyway, that's a tangent, but so yeah. Has anyone been in this situation before? That I'm talking about. And it can be a very difficult situation to be into, and yeah, so we all want to be well. When my car breaks down, I take it to a scientific tradition mechanic. I describe the problem and leave it there. He doesn't want me hanging around while he fixes it, so I leave. When he's done, he calls me and I go pick up my car. The bill is always more than I think it will be. If it's fixed and not a problem to me anymore, fine. If it isn't fixed, I sue. It's the mechanic's responsibility to see to it that there aren't any problems. I just drive the machine. So I think she's talking about, in this tradition, we are divorcing ourselves from ourselves. And possibly that's not a good thing. And that we're not machines. Sorry, guys, that was a little rambly. It helps when I can read the sections before and have, like, some sort of question or some coherent idea that I've put together instead of, like, putting together on the spot. But sometimes I can't. So, I try. All right, so we're not going to finish this today. So this is, both machines need to be overhauled. I am not in charge of myself in a scientific tradition of health. I run the body/machine. I feed it the right numbers. If it breaks, I want it to be fixed as fast as possible. I want it to be normal again. Heather says, but you have to be aware of your machine and how it runs. You do, exactly. But like in this analogy, I know definitely I don't know how my car runs 100%. I mean, I guess I don't know how my body runs 100%. But yeah, definitely you do. We need to know more about ourselves. I think in the scientific tradition, we give away that power, that agency to the doctors, instead of like maybe in the wise woman tradition, we're like trusting ourselves more in our intuition, and we're putting more stock into that. An alert for changes in the norm. No, I don't specifically know either. Well, yeah, you should be on the alert for changes. And then what's normal for you is different from everybody else. But in the scientific tradition, the normal is sort of a cookie cutter thing. So, like my husband and I both have different reactions to stress. Like I have all these digestive issues. That's how my stress presents itself in my stomach. And then he gets red in the face. He has some heart breathing issues now. It's stress. And so we're two different people, but it's a stress response. So I don't know. I think the scientific tradition has some like a spectrum, but you know, people are always different. So so we're going to read about normal health in the scientific tradition. So that rolls us into that. That's page 67. Normal health. So what is normal health in the scientific tradition? We're just going to talk about that. And what do you guys think it is? What might be something that's considered normal in this tradition? Normal health in scientific tradition is found in a computer printout of statistics on a normal, fully functional young white male. Okay, so, and I giggled at the fact that she's mentioned like the template for this tradition is a young white male, but I watched a Last Week Tonight with John Oliver on, oh my gosh, I can't remember the topic, but it was talking about healthcare, women and minorities, and basically even some of this, they did these studies of this like drug for women, like for something that only women have, like, and they did it on men. And I wish I could remember the episode because you could look it up on YouTube. And they did it on men, and it was insane, and I had no idea. And this is a recent study. And you're like, well, why did they do this study on men? Because, you know, this is for women. Women's bodies are different. I also found out that women present in heart attack differently than men. And all we know is how men present in heart attacks. So it was a crazy Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. I don't know if anyone watches it, but it's really good. You know, women would come in and they would have like symptoms of heart attacks, but then the doctors would turn them away. Also, we're taken less seriously. But anyway, so like it's, I guess in some ways it is true that the template for this tradition is still a guy. Maybe not. So there's a sounds about right for the norm. Yeah, I guess so, unfortunately. Of course, had I not watched that Last Week Tonight, I I would have thought she was insane. I'm like, no, what? This cannot be true. But yeah, I totally believe it now. Normal health in the scientific tradition is defined by numbers and verified tests. Machines monitor the invisible physical processes of regularity and repeatability, measuring and testing the components of the blood, the resistance of blood pressure, the electrical activity of the heart, the folds of the digestive system, the thickness of the bone, and much more, allowing the scientific tradition healer/God to look deep inside. The scientific tradition healer looks with precision at the smallest molecule of your being. The scientific tradition can take it to pieces, measure it, and judge it for deviation or normalcy. Normal health in the scientific tradition wears white skin. Most scientific tests are calibrated to reflect the normal ranges of white males. Yeah, this book was written in the 80s. 1989. They're still doing this stuff, guys. I don't know. I don't think all studies are like that, though. I don't know for sure. So, but I know at least in the one that John Oliver talked about. So, like, let's not jump to too many conclusions about that too fast without research. But at least with that one study, so it's still happening. Racism is rampant in the scientific healthcare in the United States. In 1986, for example, 3 times as many black women, 16.3%, as white women, 5.9%, died during pregnancy and childbirth. Potential benefits of sickle cell, they help prevent malaria, are rarely mentioned. One friend tells me she's sick of explaining to white healers that her build is typically black and she does not intend to try to change it to conform to their white standards. So that is so true about pregnancy, about African Americans who went to the doctor. And it was all in that. Yeah, so it sucks. I had a customer come into work who pretty much had a story very similar to this story. So it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Normal health in scientific tradition means youth. Problems of the old are often disregarded, dismissed as senility, regarded as typical of old age, and therefore not worth dealing with. Machines don't get old. They just get out of date and old-fashioned. Best to retire them before they break or over-treat them with polypharmacy? Polypharmacy. Okay. All right, I'm going to type this word in. Miss Susun Weed and her big words that I don't know. They're pretty good. P-O. Oh, P-O. Yeah. Estrogen replacement theory speaks to women's fear of getting older and offers them scientific tradition health. Eternal youth. Normal health in a scientific tradition means full functioning with or without assistance. If you can't see normalcy, you wear glasses. If you can't hear normally, you wear a hearing aid. If you can't walk normally, you get an artificial hip or foot or whatever you need. There's no excuse not to be normal. The benefits and gifts of blindness, such as acute sensitivity to non-visual stimuli or other disabilities, are not considered healthy or normal by the scientific tradition. Heather says the same thing over and over, not trying something different. The simultaneous use of multiple drugs to treat a single ailment or condition. Oh, thank you, Heather. Thank you. So that is what polypharmacy means. And that is a new word in the vocabulary. So, okay, so she brings up an interesting point here. And so what do you guys think? Like, I wear glasses, and I'm very happy for them. They allow me to read, which is something that I love. They allow me to do my work. And so the first was my guess. Yeah. Well, that wasn't a bad guess. And that's what I was thinking too, actually. But I guess if we think of the word poly, it means multi, multiple pharmacy, multiple drugs. So, but yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking for maybe the definition. So do you agree with Susun Weed here? So she's saying that in the scientific tradition, we just like put on glasses or hearing aid. So maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should just go blind and deaf and recognize that they have other benefits. Do you agree? Disagree? Why? Is there value in glasses? Is there also value in hearing aids? Yeah, you don't agree. Yeah, I don't agree either. I feel like I think I know what she may be saying, and that it's not necessarily that she feels like there's no value in glasses and hearing aids, but like that we demonize the fact that if someone is blind or someone is deaf, and that we don't see that as having some pluses. There are very few solutions to correct vision or hearing as opposed to internal issues. Yeah, that's true. There's less for that. Although the glasses technology keeps getting better and better, so that's good. Depression doesn't make us blind. No, definitely not. So there are physical and mental ailments, internal and external. Yes, depression can cause many physical illnesses. Yeah, definitely. So normal health in scientific tradition is male, strong, powerful, rugged, predicted, fixed. Sickness in the scientific tradition is female, weak, vulnerable, delicate, erratic, unpredictable, and constantly changing. Normal female physical functions as pregnancy and lactation, menopause, and menstruation are regarded by the scientific tradition as dangerous, painful, frightening, weak, and unsustainable without help. And I feel like those are the messages we're still getting, because I was getting them when I was growing up, and I'm still getting them now. And so unfortunately, I feel like this is the dominant message, not only about healthcare, but about being a female. It says, and each person needs to be treated differently. Right, exactly, yes, that's true. That's true. So the scientific tradition puts everything in the cookie cutter mold as well. So even though this book was written like years and years ago, it still has a lot of relevance. We're talking about our dominant healthcare tradition. The male standard of scientific tradition medicine in the United States is especially visible in the hundreds of thousands of unnecessary hysterectomies, cesarean sections, and radical mastectomies. Conservative sources estimate half of these operations are unnecessary. Radical sources claim 90% are unnecessary. Unhealthy, not normal, out of whack, abnormal, out of kilter, beyond reasonable limits, irregular, illogical, dark, old, broken. Time to be fixed. Woo-bee! Woo-hoo! Okay, so we're going to stop there with the scientific tradition. Got all blurry now. There we go. And we'll be picking up with Get Fixed Fast with Active Ingredients. And I think next week we'll finish it because we have doctors and scientists and the scientific tradition, and then that's it. Woohoo! All right. There's a lot to unpack here. Sometimes I think she's speaking on multiple levels, and for me, sometimes I feel like it's sort of out of my expertise. So, and sometimes I have to go and think about it a lot. But this is the tradition we're all most familiar with. So everyone has had experiences and encounters with this tradition, probably in their lives, even if you don't live in the United States. More so if you live in the United States. But, so, all right, going to nettles. No, did we finish it? No, we're little seeds. But it's still a mystery. The scientific tradition, Heather? Or like healthcare? Or like something else? Yes. Okay. Well, maybe this next few pages will help get an idea about where the doctors are coming from with their mindset. And after we finish, we will be talking about all the traditions and their pros and cons and goods and bads and all that fun stuff. So that'll be neat. We'll do a big wrap-up video. Some from their pocketbooks. Can you expand on that? Do you mean the money? Some doctors are coming. Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. Okay, now I get it. I'm sorry. I did not get that. Yes. Some doctors are all about the money. That is one reason. In fact, I think that is one reason we have a shortage in primary care doctors in this country, is because they make the least money. If you're a specialist, you make more money. But we really need those primary care doctors, because the primary care doctors refer the specialists to this country. It's so stupid. Anyway, so yeah, I love my primary care doctor. He's fantastic, and I'm very happy to have him. And currently I have no insurance, so woohoo! But it just means I go a lot less to the doctor. But I go to acupuncture twice a month, and so I also do a lot of other stuff. So keep up with my health. Yeah, so we're in nettle seeds because that's a thing. Oh, we were talking about the endocrine glands last time. So we're on page 170. No, I lied. We are talking about the roots. I really need to stick in a bookmark. Hello! Welcome. How are you today? You just made it for the nettle part. We're on 179 talking about nettle roots. How are you? Yeah, so we're just about to talk about some big English words. But I will define them into smaller words, so you don't have to worry about that. So the roots and properties. So she said especially of wood nettles, and I think wood nettles are slightly different from. Hello, Karen. Welcome. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like the book list. I'm just compiling it. So yeah, if there's a book on it that you want us to read for our next book, put it in the description, or you know, put it. We have I have a Facebook group also. So awesome. Yeah. All right. So I'm rooting for braiding sweetgrass. Yes, Heather has put in her vote. Actually, Heather has suggested a book and is also rooting for braiding sweetgrass. It's supposed to be a great book. And I have not read it. And I had forgotten about it, except I was poking around YouTube looking for herbal books. So no, we haven't. We haven't, Karen. We haven't. Have you read that book? Heather put the link to the Facebook group up. I think it would be really right up this book club's alley. Because we are talking. Karen says, I love it so much. Bring tissues, her writing is magical. Yes, I've heard that. It's a crier, which is fine. I think that would be great. You know, I think that would be really, really great. Because I wanted this book club to be something more of just talking about the plants, because it's not like just me. I mean, a discussion about herbs is great, but like I wanted something about health. So let's all cry together. Oh, awesome. You'll fall in love with Robin. Nice. Yeah. So that might be the book. So far we've got two. One is a novel that Heather proposed. You know, although if she wants to do so, yeah, I was gonna put all the choices in like a hat or something, and draw them. But yeah, it looks like there may be one, which is fine. It's totally fine. You know. Oh yeah, I was gonna type in. So this, she put especially for wood nettles, which is slightly different from our nettles that we're talking about. It's got a different Latin name. So I've seen a wood nettle, and they grow in the woods. I think they're less stingy. I really don't know that much about them as opposed to our normal nettle that we know. Heather hasn't read The Winter Sisters is the other book, right? But you ordered it, so if you start reading it, you let us know what you think. I like the fact about maybe doing a novel, but we can always do that later. I mean, you know, although at this rate it looks like we're gonna read like 2 books a year, which is fine. I mean, this was a big one. So, okay, so this is the regular nettle's Latin name, right? And this is the wood nettle's Latin name. So I think these properties of roots are also good, are also similar in the regular nettle, but and I can call it regular nettle, but Urtica diaca. I think that's how I pronounce that. This is the wood. C-A-N. And it's wood nettle. So it's Laportia canadensis. Yes, wood nettle. Yes, thank you, Karen. Yes. So, so I guess if you want to do the roots and have it be stronger, then you would try to find the wood nettles. I wish I, anyway. Probably in a guidebook somewhere has the difference. Oh, wow. Let's go see. It says, this native plant is often mistaken for the introduced Urtica stinging nettle, but both species have stinging hairs and similar appearances. However, the wood nettle has some alternative leaves, while stinging nettle has a pair of opposite leaves. Okay, so opposite. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Heather. I think alternative are like sort of like this, and opposite are like this. So you have the stalk, and you have the leaves on each side. And I think the other way is like sort of maybe a little more like this. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. We're getting a little bit of botany, which I don't know too much about. I know it's a little bit. It's very, very fascinating. Very, very complicated. But so that is something on the wood nettle. And so its main actions is a tonic, and it's also diuretic, and then it is astringent, and also because it's astringent, an antidiuretic. Heather says, so I think one is native and one isn't. Yeah, it sounds like the wood nettle is native to this country, and then the stinging nettle has been introduced into this country. So, so tonic and diuretic, we pretty much know what a tonic is, but I will read that anyway because nourishes the functioning of muscles, organs, or systems, integrates and strengthens all activities, and a diuretic, of course, makes you pee. Promotes, sometimes stimulates the formation and release of urine, so aka makes you pee. Karen says, and both have formic acid in the stinging hairs. Okay, so they both sting, and that is the, like, you can kind of like, if you have arthritis, you can swish yourselves with nettle, and the stinging will help your arthritis. So like if you have joint issues, you know, it's very, very good for joint support, as we would say, a little more to shea. So, yeah. Thrashing, yes, yes, yes. Joint issues, muscle issues. Nettles have been used for urtification. Yes, yes, yes. Wait. Oh, really? For ED? Right, yeah. Old timey. But still probably it works. Or worth a try, right? So, stimulates the blood flow. Okay. So I'm assuming by ED we are talking about the old helps with the getting it up, as they would say. Yes. So that's good to know. And that's why it helps with your hands, you know, and your joints and stuff like that. They would manually hit the stinging hairs to the area. Woo! But that's tingly down there, right? Oh my gosh. I've never heard that, but I can see that. I can see that. People doing that. Yes. I don't have that. Heather says, oh, erectile dysfunction. I don't have that problem. I believe nobody in this chat currently has that problem, but if you did, I would try it. It's probably cheaper than Viagra, guys. So, you know, and healthier for you. I mean, if you have that issue, you're having other health issues probably that's contributing to that. So there's a lot to look at there. Just popping a pill. You have an eating disorder. Well, maybe it'll help that. Nettles are good for anything. Yeah. You know, nettles could help that. Because I mean, unless it is like more of an emotional than something that your body might, because nettles are really supportive to your whole body system. So maybe there's something that your body is craving, Heather, that like at some level that causes. But I am not an expert, so this is just sort of an ideas that I've had in my brain. Nettles are so nourishing. They are really nourishing, Karen. That's why I was like we have been talking about it, nettles for a while. We've sort of been stuck on this section, but it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. So, but yeah, they are really nourishing. All right. So astringent. Find it. Contracts organ tissues, can reduce secretions and diminish swelling, and then anti-diarrheal. And reduces and prevents diarrhea. So basically that's what it is. So if you're pooing way too much, and you know you want to help not do that, some nettles will help that. I'm not sure how many. Maybe she'll go into that, but or what the dosage would be. But so Use nettle root as a hair and scalp tonic, a urinary strengthener and stimulant, and an immune system / lymph strengthener, and for a bit of first aid. Dose of fresh nettle root tincture is 5 to 90 drops a day in water. Dose of dried nettle root infusion is 4 to 8 ounces, 125 to 250 mLs a day. So I guess that's just your standard dose of the root, fresh or dried. Nettle root is a hair and scalp tonic. So we were talking about nettle seed as a scalp tonic and nettle leaves as a scalp tonic. So you can, I guess you can use all three for your scalp and your head and your skin. Those with thinning hair, dandruff, scalp infections, and hair loss after chemotherapy or giving birth can try rubbing the scalp every morning and night with nettle root decoction or tincture. The mild hormonal effect of nettle leaf or seed taken internally strengthens the effect of the external applications. And it says see Nettle Pharmacy for some hair tonic recipes. So I did post on the Facebook group, or I should have posted on the Facebook group, all of the nettle recipes. So you can find that. If we went over this already, please let me know. Because I'm really bad at putting bookmarks in there, but I think this is new stuff. And then nettle root is a urinary system strengthener / stimulant. Frequent sips of nettle root infusion or decoction ease those with urinary discomfort and strong kidney action. Ask Sister Spinster's stinging nettle to give you her roots to help reduce water retention, stop bleeding, and encourage the passage of kidney stones and gravel from the urinary tract. Relieve dropsy symptoms. Reduce urethral swelling / uritis and prevent swelling / prostatitis to help eliminate chronic cystitis. Heather says, I love eating nettles in the spring. Yeah, you can make soups and all kinds of stuff from them. Very tasty. So this is interesting because she's saying it's a diuretic. Well, it's not. The diuretic is not one of the main functions of the root. One of the main functions is a tonic and it's astringent. Because I always found like it makes me pee, but maybe with the root, so I used to do the leaves. It helps that. Karen, Nettle infusion oil is great for hair treatment. Nice. Yeah, we were talking about that. I think it was last week, the week before. I don't know if she mentioned a vinegar rinse, which was interesting. So you can do an oil too. That's cool. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, we have so much hair. I mean, nettle is like fantastic for your hair. You can make like a banging like hair tonic. I keep dried nettle wilted in my kitchen spices and add to soups and stews regularly. Oh, nice. I bet it adds like a nice kind of earthy flavor. I had nettle soup once. It was really, really good. And there was it was made from the fresh nettle, so there was like a big nettle in it and everything, nettle leaf. I don't remember what else was in it because that was such a long time ago. Yeah, so you could use the oil. You could use the vinegar as like a leave-in, and you can also use like the oil sometime throughout the day. You know, maybe another time, and so that's great. I know that a lot of people often look for assistance with thinning hair and hair loss, and Anyway, sorry. It's like been an hour, so like that's when the time when my brain becomes like pudding a bit. So so nettle root is an immune system / lymphatic strengthener. And we did talk about the lymph system last time. So I'm not going to go. Oh, we're talking about the endocrine system. We didn't talk about the lymph system. That's like a really important system. So is the immune system. They're both really important. The lymph goes throughout your whole body. And the immune system is also a really huge, that's like a huge system. So when immune system stress is severe, as with people dealing with AIDS and ARC / and EBV. So I think EBV is Epstein-Barr, but I don't know what ARC is. Genetic tendencies to cancer, including DES children, which I also don't know. Intermittent fevers such as malaria and constant exposure to chemicals. Try daily use of nettle root tincture, 5 to 30 drops, up to 3 times a day, along with your other wise one wiles. Note, overuse or excessive dosing are reported to cause hallucinations. Sips of the root decoction are used if the tincture is unavailable or inappropriate. So that's interesting. Don't take too much. Nettle root is a bit of first aid. Sipping nettle root decoction helps stop dysentery, loose bowels, and diarrhea. Well, that's really, really helpful to know a natural help for dysentery, because that's some nasty stuff. Yeah, there. Speakers and actors ward off hoarseness by mixing the dried powdered root with an equal amount of molasses, forming lozenges and sucking on them. I need those for when I do this this live every week. And also like you could use this for lozenges are really easy to make for like if you're sick and you have a sore throat. It's cool that this plant can do so much because I think this is because it's everywhere. I mean, it grows everywhere. It does so much stuff. You can use the whole part. You need to make it. I need to make them. I need to make so much stuff, y'all. I wish I just spent all my time making stuff for everyone. Yeah, but I can't. Spend all the time in the woods and be able to process these plants into all the medicines and everything. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Nettles can be easily grown at home. Yeah. Or started from pots. We were talking about that last time. There's a link in the description for some seed companies that are really good. I put down. And what I'm sort of doing with it as we sort of like collect this information, I'm just sort of putting them all in the description of all the videos, like going forward. So sort of like that. And I'm also posting it to the Facebook group. Sort of this little information. I guess like supplemental information that goes along with our book. And if you're lucky enough to have like an herb festival with a lot of medicinals, which that would be another really great way to get like little starts from it. Do you grow, Karen? Do you grow a lot of herbs? Or do you do like mostly wildcraft or like a mixture? You grow lots of herbs. Awesome. Heather also has a large garden where she grows a lot of plants and everything. So that's awesome. Random question, what is growing now? So I also am a botanical medicine educator. Whoa, awesome. Well, welcome. Happy to have you. We are all in various stages of education and learning here. So, yay, Herbalist, woo! And we're sort of learning together. I know some stuff. I've been through some school, but definitely not a clinical herbalist, or definitely don't know enough for my. I mean, of course, they say you never stop learning. You always want to know more. So, you know, and the people's medicines for everyone. Yes, exactly, and that is. I think that is the point behind her book mostly, is to have a guide to hand this medicine back to the people, or to, like, help us relearn it, because we've lost so much. We really, really have. And it really makes me sad. I'm teaching herbal oils this month in Chicago. Oh, cool! Herbal oils are my fave. I actually, after this, I'm going to be straining out some fresh, some plantain oil that has been up for 6 months, which I made from fresh plantain, and also 1 jar of mugwort leaf. Yeah, so because I put them, I have an Etsy shop, and I make salves and lip balms and stuff, and I also sell oils. So, but I like to do the fresh plants, and I do them the cold infusion, so kind of out of the sunlight, for 6 weeks. So yeah, awesome. Do you live in so are you from Chicago? Are you out of Chicago? Do you mind, or do you teach at a school? I'd love for you to pop a link up. That would be great. Yeah, because somebody may be watching from that area, or these go up on my channel and they stay up. So we're always on the lookout for really awesome places to find good herbal education. So yeah, feel free to. I don't think you can pop a link unless you're a mod, but just type it out, and then maybe we can get Heather to pop a link up. So my classes will be at MS Wellness Center in Evanston. Awesome. Cool. MSI, sorry. Well, awesome. Yeah. Let's see. I think I don't disappear if I do this. I'll post it for sure. Thank you, Heather. Thank you so much. You're so awesome. Heather is our unofficial link poster here. So yeah. Oh, well, I mean, if there's anything you want, October 9th, 19th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cool. So if anyone is in Chicago, check out Karen's class and learn about herbal oils. So yeah. Right, I was gonna look. Yeah, so let's see. Using root vinegar as a salad dressing is excellent for the spleen. That was like the last sentence in this. Oh my gosh, we are not done, because we are talking about this. So this is going to have to be next week, because I have to get off really soon. But we are going to be talking about the sting. Well, actually, let us talk about the sting today. Let's just finish up all nettles. So we were talking about the sting earlier with urtification, right? Where you would get a nettle stalk and just go. Thank you, Heather, for putting up the event. It's going to be a fun workshop where each participant will make one to take home. Awesome. I started out my herbal career during a similar class. It was a 1-day medicine making class. So we made tinctures, and we made salves, and we made an oil. We made a plantain oil, and I took it home in like a little baby food jar, And that was the first oil I ever made, and I went from there. So, you know, we did some plant identification. So those little plants are really great. I'm sorry, those little classes are really great if you want to get started. Really great way to find out, like, hey, I really like this herbalism stuff, want to get started in it, and it's a really good way to get your feet wet and everything else. So I know, like, because when I was starting to learn, there wasn't like this YouTube thing. So now there's YouTube, there's a lot of videos out there, there's a lot of information, but I find like herbalism is very like hands-on. So it is really important. Like, you can watch videos and videos, but like until you get out there and you work with the plants, you know, like you're really not, you're gonna miss things. So yeah. Anyway, that's my soapbox on you know, on that. But all right, we're gonna be done. Yeah, ouch, the stink. Whoops. The sting. Oh yes, you're welcome. Okay, so it's a stimulant. That's the properties. Rubification and antiseptic. So rubification is another big word. These are all like herbal action terms. So stimulant, everyone probably knows what that is, but I will still define it just in case. She's got like a really good, so stimulant, and then it goes rubification, and then an antiseptic. I spelled everything right. Aha! Maybe not. Rubificient, sorry. Yeah. So, stimulant. Increases or speeds up functional activity, often pushes one past normal limits. So yeah, we're talking about like gets the blood flowing in those areas. It's gonna be very tingly. Even through gloves, I feel the tingle of a sting. So it's quite strong. And then so rubification. Rubification. Might be pronounced wrong. Promotes or causes reddening, rubi of the skin, usually by diluting capillaries, increasing surface circulation. Yeah, so it increases the blood flow. And then, of course, antiseptic. And these are all in the back of the book. So that's why, like, this is, I think it's a really good book for beginners, even though, like, the, you know, when she's talking about the science, the healing traditions, it can be a lot and very meaty. So, but like, I feel like the straight up like talking about the plants and how she anthropomorphizes the plants, you know, is really, really good. What am I looking for? Oh, antiseptic. Yeah. It's getting dark over here. Okay. Antiseptic is kills or damages septic, infective bacteria. So nettle is an interesting stimulant in that it also drops the tension from the shoulders. I can believe that. Yeah, that's cool. Would you do the certification for that? So yeah, this is why this thing is always out. I can never get off. It gets really interesting. Being stung by nettles accidentally is frightening, painful. Why would anyone do it on purpose? Must be a masochist. Counter irritation, as in hitting yourself on the toe to cure a headache, is the usual explanation given for the effect of urtification. The technical term given to lashing the skin and joints with fresh nettles, a supposedly outmoded technique. Oh, or from drinking the tea? Okay. Earth-honoring peoples in Australia, Eurasia, and the Americas have long recognized the unique value of being stung by sister spinster stinging nettles. A few writers make the connection between repeated cures of arthritis from bee and ant stings. Yes, that also, I've heard about that too, from the bee stings. Oh, we were asking Karen. Okay. So Karen, if you're still here, Heather is wanting to know if nettle helps muscle tension by drinking tea. Did I get that right? And some of the, let's see, so, and some of the acidic compounds in nettle. But the story is much longer. Urtification creates an intense physical and energetic stimulus to capillaries, circulation, nerves, meridians, muscle fibers, lymphatic flow, and the cellular metabolism. Combined with multiple surface injections, like vaccine, of a fluid containing, among other things, histannins. Oh my gosh, big words. And formic acid. I'm sorry. Yes, it does help from drinking the tea. Awesome. I can feel it when I drink it, though I make a slightly strong infusion because I like the taste. Oh yeah. I love making strong, thank you, Karen. I love making strong infusions of nettle. So this is the word I can now read, and so that is, yeah, we talked about formic acid. No wonder modern herbalists still note that stinging nettles bring dormant energies into action. My initial experiences were from unintentional urtification, but the results led me to pursue it purposely. Injuries from glass cuts, old but still occasional painful and arthritic pain in a knuckle or two completely disappeared after 3 springs of attention from my sister stinging nettle. Nettle is traditionally used with Weisman ways for healing those with palsy, paralysis, chronic headaches, muscle tightness, and congestion, rheumatism, arthritis, neuritis, sciatica, cold feet, gout, and other chronic congestions. Fresh stinging nettle oil or ointment, there we go, is said to make you sweat when applied. Sounds great for a chilly night. This oil is an honored ally, one of the best some writers exhort for those with hives. Allergic reactions, stress reactions. Oh my gosh, it would be fantastic for my husband who gets stress reactions. He gets very hot face. Although that wouldn't be good for sweating, so I don't know. Rashes and itchy bites. Combined with daily use of nettle leaf infusion if the condition is chronic. All right. So we are done with nettles now, everyone. I've got the nettle pharmacy, the nettle recipes up on the Facebook page. It's a few posts back. I feel a Mountain Rose order coming on. I know, right? I still haven't gotten to my local little health food store to get me some nettles. All right, so we are done with nettles, and so we have oats, we have seaweed, and we have burdock. So I'm not sure which one we're going to start next. Maybe I'll ask whoever's here next week which one they would like to start. Karen says nettles cooling and drying. So yeah, that might work out if he'll let me experiment with some oil. But anyway, oh my gosh. All right. Thank you, Heather, for putting up the Facebook group. I'm gonna have to eat one potato chip. It takes a lot of energy to do this, so. All right. Crunch, 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 crunch. Yeah, it's time to eat lunch. All right. So next week we are going to be at a different time because my work schedule is changing. It's not going to change forever. It's going to go back and forth. I don't know. So I work retail. Oh, you can't eat just one. That's true. That is true. So that's why I get a little bag. These are one of the best tater chips. It does. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. Thanks everyone for coming. Can't do it without you guys. It's just me talking to myself. I can do that, but it's not that fun. Yes, Karen, it's very nice to meet you. Good luck with your class. Hope you can join us again. So, yes, my point is that next week it will be Thursday, but it will be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be a little late. Which means it will be sometime in the morning in Europe. It'll be better for people on the west coast of, America, but and I don't know what the week after that is going to be, so we're just going to go week by week. And I will let everyone know. I always put a post on the Facebook group, and of course I'm announcing it here, so if anyone's watching the replay, you will know. 11 p.m. in Chicago, so yes, definitely late. For what's 11 p.m. in Chicago? No. So I'm on the East Coast. Yes, 9 p.m. So yes, for Chicago, I believe it would be 9 p.m. I'm sorry, I'm on the East Coast, so I'm on the Eastern Standard Time. So Eastern Standard Time. So it would be a little less late. But I have to run home. I get up at 8:15. I run home and eat, and everything else. Oh no, if you're on Eastern Time, yes, you're an hour earlier. Yes, Karen. So hopefully you can make it. Hopefully this time is still okay for people. I know 11 a.m. on a random Thursday is probably also hard for people to get to. So this will hopefully you'll be awake. Yay! So hopefully I'll be asleep. Hopefully the flip-flopping will allow for maybe more people to be able to participate in the lives. But we'll see. I don't know. Or this might become like the time forever. I don't know. It all depends on work. But I'll let everyone know. And yes, I think Germany, it might be very late or very early. I think you're 10. Probably like 4 a.m. So, which sucks. But if by any chance it stays this late on Thursdays, maybe I will change the day so maybe I'll change the day. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Figure it out together. So I don't want to leave anyone out, especially everyone who comes to the lives. And so, yes. Okay. So everyone have a good day. And we will be reading, if you have the book, we'll be continuing on the scientific tradition. Page 69, fixed and active ingredients. And we'll probably read also 71. And then we'll start a new plant. So work in progress. Yes, Heather. Yes, work in progress. So, all right, guys, have a good week and have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, hit the like button. Don't forget. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't and you want to, and you like to listen to me ramble. Okay. Bye. Love you too, Heather. Bye.